As a mom, I feel like I'm always telling myself what I'm not doing good enough. Like I'm always pointing out this is something that I'm failing at, and this is something that I need to work on, and this is something that I need to improve. And I decided that I am going to do like a improve some habits thing, and I'm going to film it for you. But the thing is, I also realized that as a mom, as a homemaker, I forget a lot of times to look at what I'm actually good at. What am I actually doing good enough? Or what habits do I have that's really working? And instead of just focusing on all the negative things all of the time, I am going to choose to, before I start improving habits, look at what habits is good, what habits is really helping me to be a good homemaker, to really keep on top of things, to really be um, who I'm called to be in my home and to run my home in a way that feels efficient, that works, that is productive, that is setting a good example for my children in, wow, birds going crazy, in a way that is really actually helping, really helpful and point out the good that I'm doing and give God the glory for that because God is the one who's really helping me do all these things and kind of getting out of like that mindset and that lies that you constantly think in your thoughts. Like the enemy plants lies in your head, but you are the one, yourself is the one who takes those lies and make it your identity. I'm failing at this. This is the problem. Why can I not just get this done and keep up with it? But I am going to choose to tell myself what the truth is. What are some things that I do that is actually a good thing, actually a good habit, and really admirable to my children, and that they can see and that I can see, and focus on, wow, I do have a hang on some things. I am good at some things. I'm not just failing all the time. I'm not just struggling all the time. I'm not just behind all the time, because these things are the things that I do good. And I am choosing to share that with you because I want you to do the same. I want you to, in the places and the moments where you feel like you're failing, admit to yourself, okay, maybe that needs a little work, but this and this and this and this is what I'm really succeeding on, where I'm really working and building and growing. And it's really a good thing. And focus on that first so that you can take your thoughts captive from I'm a failure into I am good at this and I am a work in progress. And I'm growing and I'm building. And every time that I look at my habits and the things that I do in my to do list and things that are not working, like I keep trying and I keep trying and I keep trying, but it just ain't working. These are the things that are working. These are the things that are bringing this home somewhere and building this home up. So, if you're new here, I'm Bianca, and in this space, we grow together as Christian families, and we do it in a way where we live set apart and take our thoughts captive with Christ. So, welcome here. Welcome to the family, and let's dive into the few habits that I think I do pretty good as a homemaker, and maybe you do too. So go and sit and make your list with me, shall we? All right. First step is number one, I never leave a room empty handed. Whenever I move from one space to another, I look around and I see what is one thing that I can take to a place that's where my destination is or on the way there. And I do it. And I always walk with something in my hands. My hands are never empty. So much so that if one of my children wants to be picked up, I always say, let me put this down and then I will pick you up. because my hands are always full with something. And that is such a good habit. And yes, something that I need to improve is keeping my home tidy. But if I did not do this habit, then that would have been so much more of a mountain to climb than it truly is. So having the habit of always having something in my hands and never leaving the room empty-handed is working wonderfully for my home. The second habit that I have is I really try to create a cozy space. And I think I'm really succeeding at this. So what I do is I kind of love to decorate very minimally, very functionally, but in a way that's cozy. Like it's winter right now and there's blankets everywhere so that we can cozy up a little bit. There's lamps wherever I can put a lamp if I have one. I do have a limited amount of lamps, but lamps and candles and nice smells and just really making the space a space where play can happen, living can happen. You can just rough down and put a blanket on you and cozy up, and it's safe to do so. And I am really succeeding in creating a cozy space. Another thing that I do to create a cozy space is really focus on the music. So I cater the music that we play according to the time of day. So when we wake up in the morning, I love playing some type of indie worship music that is just like low and slow, but still worshiping God and help us to focus on that. Then later in the day, when we gotta do chores and we gotta like play and just move around fast, or we need a little bit of a pick and a like energy boost, then I play like these fun Christian music such as Josiah Queen and Forrest Frank sometimes, and I do love Josiah Queen stuff. What other people do we listen to? I'm not sure. Like I have a Spotify list. I can actually link the Spotify list below for you in the description that I use, and it's wonderful and it's lovely and it's just like bam, boom, boom, boom. You know, like it's dance, but it's not EDM. My husband loves EDM type music, and that is reserved for weekends or the car. So, but we really I like upbeat things, but not dance party upbeat anyway. Or sometimes I play like fun children music. Again, I love referring to like Christian things where Bible verses are sang and the focus is on Christ, because that is the type of atmosphere that I do want to create, but really make it fun and fit the moment. And then in quiet time or / nap time, I would play either classical music or cottage instrumental music. That is my go-to there. I love also when I feel overwhelmed, which sometimes happens at the end of the day when lots has to be done before the day ends, like making dinner, doing the cleaning quick, having some play in between. Just when my brain feels a little bit like, I feel like I'm going to walk into stress and anxiety right now, then I love putting on the like cottage music. It just soothes me. It just helps me breathe. And that is my go-to then. And that's just kind of the music that we have playing in our home. If it's too much, then the music goes off. But I really feel like music creates an atmosphere, and we love using that in our home. And then, like I mentioned, having a home that is open for living, open for play, spots everywhere where play can happen. In our bedroom, play is a no-go. Like they can come in here and they can play on the couch, on the bed, on the floor, whatever. But toys are not allowed to stay in our room. As soon as they're done playing, the toys need to go out. Like take it back to the playroom, take it back to where it came from, Toys are not allowed in mom and dad's room because I don't want to walk into my room when I need a moment to breathe or when I want to come to bed at night and then walk over toys and have to tidy my room. So they know that they can bring something in, but they have to take it out immediately when they're done. And starting that habit from very small, it's now just they're so used to it. And yes, I need to sometimes say, remember that. And then they just bring it along. So, but in the kitchen, we have like our school area, our learning area, and there's a few fun kind of learning toys, if I can put it that way, like big to small or number play or letter play or color play. And they usually reach for that on their own. And then in our TV living room space, only books are allowed because there's a lot of screens in there. It's the TV, it's basically our office. And a lot of books are in there because we do our Bible and journaling time there. So any and all books are allowed in there. And teddies, that's the only things that are allowed in there. In their rooms, they have quiet playthings like, again, books, teddies, and my oldest daughter does have her dollhouse in there where she can quietly play, and she has some coloring things in there. And then in the playroom, all the toys are reserved to there, but they are allowed to like take the scooter and ride around through the house or bring the stuff through the house. Like I don't I want my children to feel like they also live here, like it's their home too, and they can enjoy it too, just the same as I do my things in different places. The point is just take it back to where it belongs after, which is next week's video for learning that. But really having a place that people can live and be open to. Another kind of rule that I have on that is no shoes in the house. It's winter here and we don't have heating inside of our home. So we have like inside shoes, which is mostly slippers or thick boots that are never go outside. If you by accident take your shoes outside, you have to wipe them clean before you walk inside the house. That just helps me to stay on top of cleaning. It helps me that we can walk barefoot in the summer because we're a barefoot family. We love walking barefoot, and no shoes in the house really helps because our outdoors are constantly full of mud and thorns. We have endless amount of thorns, and I don't want to walk in my house and step on a thorn. So no shoes in the house. When guests come over though, I do ask them to take their shoes off if they're comfortable with it, but I don't force them. I will say if you are not comfortable taking your shoes off, please make sure you do not have any thorns or mud or poop on them. So just wipe them properly on the rug before you continue your way in. And that way it feels cozy and welcoming for everyone. And that's really important to me. The third thing I do very well, which is a very good habit, is I say good morning to my home and good evening, good night to my home. What that entails is things like curtains, opening the curtains in the morning, closing them at night, opening all the animals in the morning and closing all the animals at night. In the morning, I like putting on bright lights to help wake us up, especially in winter when the sun is not really up yet. So bright lights to wake everything up, and then bring it to low lights at night. Then in windows, opening the windows and closing them again at the end of the day. And then what else? Basically chores. We have chores in the morning and in the evening. So my morning chores would be things like put the laundry machine on, pack out the dishwasher. Animals is a big chore, honestly. And that's basically our chores. Make sure everyone's dressed, everyone's beds are made, everyone's hair is brushed and teeth is brushed, and do our Bible time. That is kind of our rhythm in the morning. And then at night, our evening chores is make sure all the shoes that came in, like all the outside shoes, are neatly packed in on the shelf. Again, the animals, and they're making sure the dishwasher is packed in after dinner, putting it on, and the laundry is off the line. Okay, so we'll talk about laundry in a second. But like having our morning chores and our evening chores. Obviously, we have chores throughout the day, but we all know what do we need to do to say good morning to the home, and what do we need to do to say good evening to the home, and bring it down a little bit. And then we have a quick tidy time at the end of the day for our last tidy. So during the day, we have a few tidies, but at the end of the day, just before dinner, it's 15-minute tidy. And we set a timer and we go. And everyone just goes to a space and tidies. And even my 1-year-old loves to tidy and throw it out again and tidy it again, the same thing over and over. But even he is already in the rhythm of tidy every day. So number 4, the fourth habit I have as a homemaker is time with God. And this is a habit that I am very thankful that I made it a habit, because I cannot function without time with God. I cannot run this home without God, because He helps me to know what to prioritize. He helps me set the tone, set the mood. He helps me encourage and motivate everyone else. He helps me not to go into victim mentality when there's a lot to be done. He helps me stay in a good mindset when children don't want to help. Really everything that I do well is because I spend time with God, and I really, throughout the day, keep God on my mind and talk to Him throughout the day. And nothing would be possible without my time with God. I would crash and burn completely. The fifth habit that is a good habit is I create a beautiful space with scriptures, meaning that I love putting up art in our home that actually means something. Now, I don't have Bible verses. Like, I put Bible verses on sticky notes, on whiteboards, on the chalkboard, and I put it up all over the house. And once you've memorized that verse, then we change it out to something else. Now, my whole house is not full of Bible verses. I keep that low and slow because I don't want to overwhelm my children or my husband's brain with like words everywhere that you have to read, because what happens then is you just get tunnel vision and you never look at it. So I only have like a few scriptures in the house, but what I also do is whatever I put out in the house to make the house beautiful, like decor-wise or art-wise, I make sure that what it resembles and the meaning behind it is something that fills our soul, that is good, that is beautiful, that resembles God, His love, or His grace, or our connection together as a family. So having the photos that we have up is like good, beautiful moments where we were blessed or having fun and experiencing joy. The art that I put up is like stuff that really means something. Like, for example, God gave me a word one day where it's basically about a city being built on top of a hill. It's not a Bible scripture. It's just like some personal word that the Holy Spirit gave me. And I turned that into art, and a picture, and then to an art. And I just framed that and put it up. So when my children and I make something beautiful together, a little piece of art, then we put that up. And I love changing it up. Any figurines or pretty things that we have in the home has to have a beautiful meaning or make us feel good when we look at it, because it's pretty or because it makes the home feel cozy and nice. But like, I don't create a space that's overwhelming, and I don't create a space that's putting us down or making us feel less than. It's basically something that I do, and I love it. And we have small pockets in the home that's beautiful, and it's still safe for children. So that is a win-win in my book. Okay. The next good habit I have as a homemaker is drinking water. Now, I know drinking water is not going to keep my home up, right? But what it does do is it keeps us healthy. It keeps our bodies healthy and functioning. Our brain cells don't shrink from dehydration and then cause headaches. Like our body feels nice. We don't feel irritated. We don't feel hungry all the time. Our systems are working well. And that's because I make sure everyone's home gets enough water. And that is kind of a challenge sometimes. So I like really pat myself on the back to get everyone to drink enough water because that's all job well done, in my opinion. And because of being well hydrated, we just have better feeling bodies, better feeling moods, and the home just functions better. And honestly, I've seen the difference between days where we don't drink water and days where we do drink water. And there is a difference. You might think it's just useless, but it's really not. It really impacts you. The seventh good habit I have is meal planning and cooking. I'm really on top of it. I'm always planning meals for the week ahead, and I always know what I'm going to cook, and I cook a lot from home, and I even know when we're going to get takeout, which is maybe twice a month, maybe. So I'm really good at planning ahead what type of meals we're going to eat. I plan for breakfast, I plan for lunch, and I plan for dinner. I make sure it stays in budget. And I make sure that it's planned in a way that cooking is actually possible for me, no matter how much time we have. So I really even say, okay, this is going to be the day where we're not as busy, and this is going to be the day where we're very busy. And I don't actually say Monday this, Tuesday this, Wednesday this. I just plan a few meals, and I know what type of meal is for what type of day. If you want a little bit more of a behind the scenes of how I meal plan, just leave me a comment in the comments and I'll make a video all about meal planning if that is something that would actually benefit you. But this is a habit that I've really kicked down. It really helps me run the home well, and I think it's a good homemaking skill. Number 8 is planning. I take every single Monday to plan out our week. Now, you might think Monday is already the beginning of the week, but hear me out. Like, I used to do it on Sundays, but Sunday is now my rest day. We moved our rest day from Saturday to Sunday. So Sundays I rest. I know on Saturday I prep for Monday. Like, I make sure there's a lunch. I make sure there's clothes for the week. Everything is done on the Saturday. So Monday is ready. Monday is fine. And I know Monday is my planning day. So on Monday, I make sure I know what I'm going to do with the kids throughout the week. We do a toy rotation if we want. I just plan everything out. When we're going to do what, and when is there going to be space for extra? When. Okay, so I'm really good at planning things. I'm not always as good as following through on my plan, which is next week's video again, but I'm really good at planning it out and figuring it out and not over planning myself anymore. I used to do that. So I really figured out how to properly plan my day and not over plan so that I have burnout or feel like I'm just failing. And it's something I think that I'm good at. The next one is laundry. So let's talk about laundry. I'm good at laundry. I think as a homemaker, it's a good habit that I have because I am in a system. I know what the system is, and I have a few things that help me. So basically, I do, just to a quick explanation, I do laundry every single day, most days. I do not do laundry on my rest day, and I do not do laundry like I plan ahead. If I know it's going to rain, obviously sometimes it does. I try to do 2 loads in one day, so that the raining day does not have a load. And when the gardeners come once a week, I know I cannot put stuff outside. So I either have to wash 2 loads the previous day, or I need to wash things that can hang inside of the house without starting to smell musty. So I have laundry every day. I just do it every day, and that helps me stay on top of it so that if something happens and I miss one day, it's not a train smash and everyone has what they need. And we do have minimal clothing, so that works really well that everyone has clean clothes. Then when I go, I hang up my laundry. We don't have a dryer. So I hang up our laundry outside. And then something that I do that really helps me is I fold it as I take it off of the line. And I have a crate, like I put my clothes in a crate, like a foldable crate. So I pack it in the crate out. I just put the crate outside on the chair and I fold it and put it in their categories. So me and my husband, then my son and my daughter. If sometimes I do just one of our laundries, it doesn't really matter. But I fold it as I put it off the line and I put it in its groups. Then I can just, when I come inside, I just take that stack, put it in whoever's room it needs to go, and that person is responsible for packing it away. Now, what sometimes happen is, or actually what's part of my system, this is not a failure. I don't want it to sound like one. I do not pack away laundry the day of. I do it the next day. Okay. So for example, if I had to start from scratch, I would wash today, hang it up on the line, fold it into the crate, and then pack that away tomorrow when I wash the next load. Okay. So I put on my washing machine in the morning. Then I immediately go pack out the previous day's laundry into the cupboards so that the basket is clean to then get the new load outside. If I have a lot of time in the day or the kids are playing very well independently, I will pack it away at the end of the day when I bring it inside. But most of the times that's when I have a baby on my hip. And I am not going to pack laundry away haphazardly with baby on my hip while I'm trying to get the animals in, cook dinner, and all of the other things that I need to do at the end of the day. So for me, the system of packing it away the next day works really, really, really well. And that does mean that we always have somewhere in the house one crate with clothes standing overnight, and that's fine. And if one person, like this happens to my husband a lot, he loses his socks under the bed and then they don't get washed. So then he doesn't have socks in the cupboard. So sometimes he needs to go and fish out some socks in his folded laundry pile, but that happens only when he didn't put his socks in the laundry basket. So habit learned, but sometimes that happens and nobody cares. Nobody cares because it's clean, it's ready, and it's still in the same room. So really doesn't matter. So I think that I'm not going to put myself down because I don't pack it away the same day. I chose to decide this system is working. It is working good enough. And it's a good system. So I'm going to be happy with it because it's helping me stay on top of it. And it's a nice rhythm that flows. And my daughter is really, really helpful with the laundry, packing it away and folding it. So it's a good thing. It gives her time to get ready to help me. And I'm just like, we have to do it now. And that doesn't work because that's a power struggle. So saying, you know what, we got to pack away this pile of laundry. Let me know when you're ready. And then she finishes her game. And then when she's ready, we do it. And that works very well to also have her have a good habit. Then habit number 10 that I have really good is I bring my kids into it, which is what I just explained, sort of. So I really bring my kids into it. They have their own chores that they do. And throughout the day, I constantly say, hey, take this, put it away, or take this and carry it, or wipe this up, here's a cloth, or do this, do that. Like I bring them into it. Whatever I do, I and they don't want to play, I do think they're allowed to play first. If they're busy playing, I just leave them. If they come to me for attention or whatever, and I'm busy with something at that moment, I just bring them into it and involve them in with me. They help me bake bread every week. They help me with the laundry every single day. They help me with the animals. They love to mop and vacuum with me. My daughter loves to dust. My son loves to do the spraying and the wiping. So I just bring them in as I do things throughout the day. I even bring them in when I decorate and ask their opinion. Do they give the best advice? Not always, but I want them to learn the skill. And I would walk them through like things that we do. And that is so good because it creates good habits for them. It's going to help my daughter be a wonderful homemaker and my husband to know that he needs to help in the home with his wife one day. And I think it's a good system and it's working. It's a good habit. Number 11 is we create margin for rest in our day. Every single day, we have margin for rest. And also on top of that, I create margin for flexibility. So when I plan out things for the week, there's got to be some space. There's got to be some space for if something doesn't happen one day, we can move it to a different day. And having rest and time for playing is extremely important to us. We have a rest day every single week. We have a rest hour every single day. And if we need, we have pockets of rest in between, like sitting together and drinking tea as a family, or going together outside and just watching the clouds and the leaves and the birds and the dogs and just play and connect. And having space for that is very important, in my opinion, as a homemaker with a family. It works well. And we have time to actually talk about things and learn about things and enjoy things and actually enjoy the environment that we created during all the hardworking moments. Then number 12 is I declutter or reorganize things very often. Why I think that is a good habit is decluttering teaches me to live with my hands open, to only keep what we need, to reevaluate my space and look at what's working and what's not working, and to bless other people with what I can donate. Then reorganizing is something I do when I notice a system doesn't work anymore because our children grew up or because our daily rhythm changed and that doesn't work anymore, or even seasonal changes in life where sometimes you work more or work late or have more busy schedules for socializing or less. Or sometimes you have a little bit more room in the budget and sometimes you have a little bit less. Winter and summer seasons, the things just change in the home and the way it is moving. So I reorganize our systems very, very often. I'd say I do at least one system every single month. And I notice, okay, this spot, it's not working. It's not staying tidy. I need to reorganize this. And I do it as soon as I get a moment, just like 5 to 10 minutes. I honestly don't do a whole Pinterest worthy thing. I just move things around. For example, I just created a spot for my son to wash his hands down low on a little table instead of the sink, because otherwise he needs to wait for me, and he's really like loving the independence of being able to wash his own hands. That's a system that I reorganized recently. Another system I reorganized recently was our going in and out zone at the door. So there was a big pile of things there on the shelf, and I noticed this is a problem because when one thing is there, it just magnetizes more clutter. And I was like, okay, what is the problem here? What system do we need? And I realized that my husband's little garage box is what we call it. It's basically anything that needs to go outside that he used inside the home and he just drops it. Or it's just there for a temporary moment because we're busy with something and it will go out when we're done with using it. For example, just a drill or a screwdriver, whatever. Okay. I made that box bigger because a lot of the times, whatever, say if it's a drill, we used a little shoe box in the beginning and then the box is full and you can't even put a cloth in because the box is full. So I just gave him a bigger box and I moved my cleaning supplies up and I changed my donation box into something else. And I made a little basket for what needs to go in or out of the car. And now I have a little basket in the door there that I can just, and that system works so well. Our shelf stays clean, it stays tidy. So reorganizing that system really improved the way things flow in the home and looks, honestly. The 13th thing I do is pivoting. And this was something I truly, truly struggled with. And it was a hard habit to learn, but now it's a good habit. And I think it makes me a better mom and a better homemaker, is being able to pivot. Basically, just being flexible. With little children, things don't always go as planned. When being a stay-at-home mom, someone can say, let's do a play day today. And if I have these things scheduled and I'm like, I can't go because I have so many things to do because I have so many things planned, that used to happen. And I would say, no, this day is not going to work for me. What about that day? But now I created margins so I can be flexible and I can pivot and I can say, okay, this ain't working. Let's go do that. Or, for example, to give you like a more practical example, yesterday I was planning on doing a whole content day. My mom came over to watch the kids and I was just going to batch film and do batch editing. That was my plan. And then I thought that today my husband is going to work on one of the cars that we need to fix up. And I'll go do grocery shopping while the kids play outside while he's doing that. But then yesterday morning, my husband said I should do the grocery shopping that day, like yesterday, like today. He said, you got to go do this today because I'm not going to work on the cars tomorrow and there's other things happening. And I was like, oh, okay, so let's pivot. So I waited for my mom to come and I went to do grocery shopping. And I thought it would take me like an hour and it took me 3 hours because it was the end of the month and because I was alone and I could walk through every aisle and make just, it was fun, honestly. But the point is, I didn't film anything yesterday. I came home, gave everyone lunch, then I did do a little bit of editing, but then I forgot to basically transfer the videos to my computer the day before. So I had to wait for that while that was loading. But then I just flexed and I was like, okay, I'm going to do the laundry that I was going to do today, like yesterday afternoon. I'm going to do it because today I'm not going to be able to hang it up or get it off the line because we're going somewhere today. So we're going to get back after dark. And that ain't going to work. So I have to bring in that laundry load and I'll quickly do that while I'm waiting for the video to load. And I'll prep dinner so long, make sure dinner is ready to get cooked. And then it just all went really well. Did I batch film anything? No, I didn't pick up the camera. Did I finish editing? No, I did not finish editing even one video. I did upload what was already edited and schedule that. But, that's just a practical example of where I can be flexible. And now I'm not stressed about it because I already created the habit of having flexibility, being able to pivot, having margin in our days. And I'm not stressed at all because I know that now, today, I can quickly film a video while my baby sleeps, my toddler is in quiet time, and then I'm going to prep the car or the bags for when we need to leave in an hour. So basically, that was very hard for me because I liked control and I liked to know what was coming and stick to my plan. But I have a family and I have a husband and I have children and I have friends and family. And sometimes plans change. And I used to struggle with that. I used to get mad and irritated and make sure everyone around me knew that I was irritated with it. And now I can just pivot with joy and know that everything is fine. I know that. And that is a wonderful space to be in. So let me know down in the comments below what is like 3 of your good habits that you have it in your home. Let me know. We'd love to, as a family, learn from each other and grow together. So thanks for growing with us. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one where we improve a bit of some of our habits. All right. See you then. Bye, fam.